Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Oh my goodness, this story it's taken a life of its own, which is not uncommon. But the latest development is too much. Malcolm Jamal Warner's the widow, Tenisha. I said before, it's giving me as if this young lady might be his wife might be broke, which I just knew being married to him she would be taken care of. Guess what? Clearly she must be because she is reportedly, allegedly borrowing money. Oh, and it's real. I believe it. Not just borrowing money, they even now set up the GoFundMe. Yes, a GoFundMe for Malcolm Jamal Warner's widow. Uh, it's too much. So check this out. Go ahead and get to this read. It says, let's get to this GoFundMe. Friend of Malcolm Jamal Warner's widow starts GoFundMe amid a state battle, says it will honor late star's wishes. Again, if the man had wanted her to be in their trust, have those prenuptial discussions, IRA, life insurance, $1 million policy, $5,000 a month as his chief of staff, he would have done that. Again, people do what they want to do. It says, Sir Malcolm Jamal Warner's widow, Tenisha Warner, is in need of dire financial assistance. According to a GoFundMe created on her behalf. We said it. It was giving broke. Is in need of dire financial assistance. Tanisha's close friend, Destiny Rael, Rael, created the GoFundMe, noting how Tanisha was left the sole provider for her and Malcolm's young daughter after the Cosby Show alum tragically died in July of 2025. Quote, I have watched Tanisha spend this year grieving the love of her life while honoring the promise they made to each other to homeschool their 9-year-old daughter, Rhea wrote. Every single day she shows up for her child as though her own world had not fallen apart and still makes sure breakfast is on the table. She shared that the house Tanisha and the late actor shared unexpectedly flooded and she's had to rebuild. She also referenced Tanisha's court battle with her mother-in-law, Pamela Warner, over his finances. We're going to get to that in a minute. Now, let's get back to where she said she's had to rebuild. If the house flooded, let's see, there's something called ABC 123. Oh, insurance. If the house indeed, what do you mean she's had to rebuild? She can't rebuild anything if it's not her home. If the house is flooded, I'm sure it's insured, but let me guess, you might have to be on good terms with Miss Pamela Warner. Clearly, the house is not her name, or she wouldn't have been concerned after the LA home was sold. So they're living reportedly in the Georgia home. If that house flooded, there should be, I'm quite sure that there is an insurance policy on that dwelling. But you have no say so. It's not in your name. So it would be up to the trust. And the mother is over the trust, the Warner Family Trust. So then, for all we know, the insurance company, they could come out there, send an appraisal out there to see what the damages are. Tanisha, you won't get the check, darling. Your name is not on that deed. You're not connected with that trust. You won't get the check. Pamela Warner would know about that check. What you mean the house is reflooded? The house is flooded and she's had to rebuild. If the house is flooded, you call the insurance company. They'll come out, they can make arrangements, give you temporary housing, start pulling up the rugs or your carpet, pulling up if you have hardwood floors, they will, if it's continuing, they will pull up those hardwood floors and put all hardwood floors off the entire house. Tile mess up, the same thing, it's got to match. So rebuild? That's what the insurance company, that's their job where they come in. But oh, let me guess, your name is not on that deed, so it's going to be up to Miss Pamela Warner, the one that you're suing. Life is business. Life is business. Hard way to find out. And look at the embarrassment. GoFundMe. I wasn't the only one. Other people were saying it's giving brokenness. It's giving like, huh? It was giving straight up brokenness. What's going on here? The article says she is in need of dire financial assistance. A legacy turned to a tragedy. It's what he would have wanted. Oh my God. He wanted that show, Malcolm and Eddie, to reach 100 episodes. And they even discussed syndication. He really wanted that. He and Eddie discussed it, even to the point that, hey, maybe we don't agree on everything. Maybe, obviously, clearly not BFF, but guess what? They're going to make this money. That's what he wanted. But it went to 88 shows and it didn't get to 100. And, the rest is history. That's what he wanted. He spoke about it. If a person wants to get that paycheck, that direct deposit, they're going to go to work. A person wants to go and travel, they're going to go ahead and get their bags packed, book a vacation, airline, rental car, whatever they need to do. So I don't know who can't get it, or maybe it's the safe face. People doing what they want to do. Not like she was 19 when they got married. This is a grown woman. Maybe she didn't press the issue. If you have to press the issue, that speaks volumes right there. If you got to press the issue, that tells me the person that's not what they really want to do. If you got to press that issue. Got to press that issue. Get it going. Wow. A GoFundMe has been set up by the friend. And I don't think her getting money from mistrust is going to be so easy as people think, to say, well, I'm his wife. With a trust, it works a lot differently than with other matters. Just saying. He's worth reportedly millions of dollars. And a GoFundMe has been set up. The only other Hollywood personality I knew that set up a GoFundMe, I think it was Mickey Rourke, and it was for his rent, and he ended up getting evicted, I believe. And he's like way back in the day. How you didn't have your rent? He didn't have his rent money. Mickey Rourke. And then there was an issue with that. They said, oh, send it back. Okay. Now we're looking at a GoFundMe. If the house is flooded, and if the house is in the name of the trust, which is what I suspect, you might need to be contacting Miss Pamela Warner. But see, now it's litigation, so you clearly don't have it like that. The fact that, and I understand people, when I mentioned about his mother, she told his best friend. She called the best friend to tell the best friend to tell the mother. People said maybe she didn't want her to be alone when she got the news, and I can respect that. A different point of view, I can respect that. I got you. I accept that. But you know what? Let's follow up. Where's the phone call, the conversation that says, and even after that happened, she called and checked on me, and we talked and cried and grieved together. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so you had the friend to break the news to the mother of his tragic passing. Okay, after that was done, then what did you do? Did you all talk and communicate? Because we know you clearly spoke when it came down to the money, the trust, after realizing, okay, I guess you had to have known your name wasn't on it. But where's that conversation? That after the friend told her, then maybe you checked on her later on that day, because you have to process what has happened to. I understand that. But where's the phone call after that? I haven't heard of one. Why? Because it probably doesn't exist, because that tells you it was probably already fractured, that relationship. And I get the feeling, as I said before in the prior video, I'm saying it again, I get the feeling with him, it was pretty much, I don't care, you can be married to him, the mother of his child, his wife. In my opinion, it's giving, you're going to always be number two. accept your position with a man like this. It's giving him and mama. It is giving he and mama number one. Was he a man who prioritized his mother? I think so, clearly. And maybe there was something in the marriage that he didn't trust about the wife to say, oh no, I do not believe her statement. Again, that's my opinion. I don't believe at all that he was in the process of taking her name off the list, taking his mother off and putting her on. Ma'am, who's buying it? That's, to me, that's nonsensical. The Warner family trust was established in 1996. You weren't even around, baby. I'm not buying that. I think that's what she would have wanted. And if that would have happened, she would be having this problem. But here you are married to a wealthy celebrity, and got a friend posting up a GoFundMe. To me, that's a stain on the name. What? A GoFundMe. And listen, I read an article, did some research on it. It's in my probably email that's clogged up with only about 4,000 or 5,000 emails, approximately. They were still getting money from the Cosby Show. Yeah, they were still getting checks from the Cosby Show. But then when I guess that went down with Bill Cosby, the check stopped. So I was like, wow, that is awesome. They were still getting money from the Cosby Show. That guy that was reported working at Trader Joe's. And I also, which was nice to see, he got a part in Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black. Ooh, season 3 coming, bring it. So the one that played on the Cosby Show, I think it was Married to Sabrina, and then ended up working at Trader Joe's. Yeah, there was an article, and he referenced that they were getting those checks, and then the check, was doing okay, and then those checks stopped. So let me guess, where do you think Malcolm Warner's checks were going? Probably, clearly the Warner Family Trust. So the house flooded. Might be a good time to call Miss Pamela Warner, call the mother, because the house is clearly not in your name. Tenisha's name must be I'm assuming in that trust name. And that's who will handle the claim, and that's who will get paid. But see, now you're in litigation, so it's probably not going to go that way. Now you're in litigation. Ooh, it's really muddy waters now, because you got the lawyers involved. I'm like, what do you mean she has to rebuild? No, that's the insurance company. Who owns the house? If the house is in the name of the trust, that has to rebuild it. So what do you think about this? We have now skedaddled up on a GoFundMe for the widow of Malcolm Jamal Warner and the child. Let's hope it's not like mold, because then they'll have to get out. Ooh, and if it is mold and they have to get out, you may have a whole other problem, because there are mold spores, very dangerous to your health. So some people may have to get out. So if they have to get out of their house, going to be go where? Probably don't have any money to go anywhere. It might be the reason for the GoFundMe. And I have a feeling if that is the case, the house is flooded and they have to leave their property, sweetie, take what you're going to get, because you may not be back in it. Your name is clearly not on that deed. If you have a fear that she may sell the house, that tells me your name isn't on the deed. Wow. If they have to leave that house because of the flooding, all I can say is you may get out and may not get back in. Pamela Warner can easily take over the insurance claim and do a lockout. Oh, yeah. You better hope it's not that bad you leave the house. You may get out and may not get back in. If that home is in their family trust, which I suspect, we know it's not in Tenisha's name because she wouldn't be concerned about having to move. If they have to get out because that house is flooded, honey, that may be your last day. The mother can then go ahead and seize the property if it's in the name of the trust, the Warner Family Trust. Handle the insurance claim, handle all the repairs, and then change the locks, and can get a TRO on you for whatever reason. Can change the locks. Then what you're going to do? If the man is a plan, good luck. Ooh, my man, my man, my man. My celebrity man, my man, my man. And look at this. And then there's a child. I'm surprised this has happened. She probably surprised too, living a nightmare. I don't mean through a sickness or anything like that. She probably surprised too. A year later, GoFundMe says she's in dire financial assistance, in dire need of financial assistance. This is crazy. A legacy looks more to me like a tragedy. A stain on the name. I don't see how you can clean this up. But wow. Let me know what you all think about this. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out. Wow. Girl.